And welcome back to the show. I'm Joe Concha, joined by Unger, Hansen, Velez, Mitchell. The last names are so powerful. 2016 GOP contenders are taking aim at Hillary Clinton, who's doubling down on the president's executive actions on immigration. On the campaign trail in Nevada, Mrs. Clinton says any immigration overhaul must include a path to full and equal citizenship, something many Republican critics call amnesty.
So I will fight for comprehensive immigration reform and a path to citizenship for you and for your families across our country. I will fight to stop partisan attacks on the executive actions that would put dreamers, including those with us today, at risk of deportation. And if Congress continues to refuse to act as president, I would do everything possible under the law to go even further.
And amazingly, Mrs. Clinton didn't take any questions at the event. Republican 2016 rival Carly Fiorina is accusing Mrs. Clinton of pandering and offered her own plan to deal with the 11 million immigrants believed to be living in the U.S. illegally.
For those who have come here illegally and stayed here illegally and who haven't committed crimes, they can earn, in my view, a path to legal status. Their children perhaps can become citizens. But I think it isn't fair to say to people who've worked hard to earn the privilege of citizenship that never mind that you played by the rules. People who didn't get to have the same privileges as you do.
And former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, fresh off his announcement to join the 2016 fray, also took aim at Mrs. Clinton, saying, quote, supporting President Obama's call for a pathway to citizenship is, in effect, support for amnesty. As president, I will start where the problem actually begins, with repealing Obama's unconstitutional executive amnesty and securing our borders. I strongly opposed amnesty and government benefits for illegal immigrants who have violated our laws. Hillary, however, wants to reward illegal immigrants with the right to vote. I will end the flood of low-wage, low-skilled illegal immigrants, to protect American workers and their livelihoods. And as the immigration debate takes center stage in the 2016 race, a judge in Arizona has handed a victory to so-called dreamers. A Maricopa County judge has ruled that children of undocumented immigrants can pay a lower college tuition rate. The judge ruled that as long as the students have a work visa under President Obama's Deferred Action Program, they should be allowed to pay the cheaper in-state tuition. Arizona's Attorney General says they are now reviewing their legal options, including an appeal. So what do you think? Should illegal immigrants get in-state tuition discounts for college? Jane Velez Mitchell.
Well, let me say a couple of things. First, this is not strictly a Latino issue. I just read that there are more immigrants now from China and India than there are from Mexico, and the number of immigrants from Mexico are declining. So you're talking about really the entire world. It's a high-class problem. Our country is so fantastic. A lot of people want to live here, and most people come here to work. And indeed, a lot of people send money back to their poorer, more desperate relatives back in their home countries. So let's just not make this a Latino issue. I find it offensive, frankly, as a Latina who has nothing to do with illegal immigration and is not an illegal immigrant, nor do I know any illegal immigrants. And a vast majority of Latinos in this country are not illegal immigrants. So let's make that case first of all. But I'd like to say that, wow, what a good problem to have, that there are all these young people who desperately want to go to college and they want to learn. Isn't that what we would like our own citizens to do? Isn't that what we've been talking about for weeks and months? That education is the key to achieving the American dream. So I think we have to give people an opportunity to become successful in our society.
Heather.
To what end? See, here's the problem. And we know that the influx of young people coming into Texas is going to cost them $78 million a year. That was reported in the LA Times, for them to educate these people. There is a point in time where the economic cost is too great. So we've got to find a way to deal with these people, whether it be a path to citizenship so that they're paying taxes and contributing rather than just taking.
As a guy who went to school out of state, it's interesting the difference in cost that we're talking here. All right, it's $84 in-state per credit. If you're out of state, it's $325. So if I'm a guy from Jersey and I want to go to University of Texas, hook 'em horns, I'm paying $325 per credit. If I came from Mexico, however, across the border illegally, for example, I'm only paying $84.
Why would you want to go to Texas when you could go to The Ohio State University?
Well, they are
Just
national
because-
champs in football. It's a very good point.
But first thing worth noting is there was a substantial legal justification to why that judge came down as he or she did. If you're issued a work permit, you are in the state legally under the Obama program, whether you like the program or not. You're therefore a legal resident. If you're a legal resident within the state of Arizona, you are legally entitled to in-state tuition. So if they want to change that, it is going to take some legislative action to do that. But much more important than any of that, can I give some more unsolicited campaign advice to Hillary Clinton?
Oh, please do.
If you're going to read a speech, use a lectern. You don't see the pages. You cannot sit at a desk like this and sit there and read because people are going to notice, Hillary. Come on, get your act together.
Well,
good speech, though.
And the other thing about that's style over substance. One of the substance points, and it's
I had a feeling
important.
you might go there.
But it's important. But one of the substance points is this flip-flopping that we're seeing from her
She did
already.
change.
She has drastically changed on this. She initially, she has.
Not drastically, because if you go back to 2008, she got in trouble because she couldn't seem to find her
Well,
bearings
right.
on the whole driver's license issue.
But she ultimately said that they
So,
shouldn't
yes,
get
she
one.
did.
And she also ultimately said that she would not give them a path to citizenship.
Did she say that?
Ultimately. I mean, I don't know. I don't
don't
want to say
think
that
so.
she definitively did, but she certainly wasn't saying amnesty
But
and
she
let them
wasn't
all in
honest.
and I'm
But
going to
Heather,
pass
the last
executive
time
orders.
I was here, you were basically knocking her for taking an easy position. A badge counts. So now she's taking a difficult position and you're knocking her.
Well, I think it's a difficult position, and just like
She
every other
wants something
difficult position that
substantive
she's
or not.
taken is contrary to what she's taken before. Gay marriage, immigration, crime, everything's a flip.
I find that ironic that she has to get to the left not only of President Obama, but has to get to the left of the Republican that could challenge her in Jeb Bush. Everything's upside down, Rick.
How dare you accuse her of being a politician?
That's right.
Coming up next, about a half dozen states are considering cutting income taxes and simultaneously increasing sales taxes. More on that next.